This is the exact strategy I use with clients to quickly get them free real estate leads, and even better, fast closings, right? If you're doing any sort of online lead generation, you know that these leads are bound to ghost you, right? Like, there's no better way to say it. You're gonna get ghosted from online leads. It happens, that's okay. But how do we go and get those leads to respond to us? And even better, how do we create conversations that lead to closings, right? If you have a list, if you have a database, sphere of influence, whatever you wanna call it, if you're generating any leads any way, right? Zillow leads, referrals, Facebook ads, whatever it is, I guarantee you that if you have a decent sized list, you have a closing in that list. So how do you go and contact those leads? Well, we utilize 3 different methods: text, voicemail, and email, coupled with retargeting Facebook ads. Now I'm just going to cover how to target based on text, email, and voicemail in this video. The second half, retargeting with Facebook ads, I have a different video on that. You can click on that at the end of this video. But essentially that, in a nutshell, is retargeting all of your list and showing up everywhere online so that they view you as the #1 real estate agent in their market. And that's relatively easy to do. So go watch that video after you watch this one. All right, so like I said, the best way to reach out to them is via email, text, and voicemail. So the first message that we're gonna send out is a email. It's called the 9-word email. It's probably the most classic sales email out there. And based on where they're at in the process, it's simply saying, hey, are you still interested in XYZ? So if they're a buyer, you'd say, hey, are you still looking to buy in XYZ neighborhood? Are you still looking at a 4-bed, 3-bath, whatever you have in your database? Your notes on them is what you would want to send to them. And we utilize a software that allows us to do this, especially if you have hundreds of leads, if not thousands of leads, then utilizing a software to do this is really important. But if you don't have that many, you could just manually shoot them an email or a text or shoot them a quick voicemail, right? So the first is the 9-word email. It's probably the most classic out there. The second message that we're gonna send is actually a voicemail. Now we use a automated system called Automated Agent System to send a ringless voicemail. What that does is it bypasses the actual, they won't get a actual dial, right? We won't ring them at all. It'll go straight to voicemail. It's a recorded message, and that recorded message would say something like this. Hey there, I found a house in XYZ neighborhood, 4-bed, 2-bath. It's under $450,000, just like you wanted. It's in the neighborhood you wanted. It's a perfect house. It's actually from an investor friend of mine, so it's off market. It's coming soon. Do you want to go see it? Right, and that would be the message to them. Now, if you don't have a ringless voicemail system like ours, just give them a phone call, right? It's super simple. If they answer, perfect. That's awesome. Have a conversation with them, right? Like, that's the goal of the whole thing anyway, right? If you use a ringless voicemail system, I would shoot that obviously through ringless voicemail, and then I would shoot a follow-up text that says something very similar, right? So if they want to give you a call back from the voicemail, perfect. If they want to shoot you a text, perfect. Gives them the option of whatever they want to do, right? I'm a texting kind of guy. I don't necessarily want to have a phone call. And so I would choose text from that, right? Some people, I think it's crazy, but some people want an actual phone call. So they would give you a phone call back, and that's their preferential way of talking to you. So do both, right? That's why we're doing email, text, and voicemail to kind of meet people where they are in that process. So the third message that we're gonna send is actually a text, and this would be to generate a seller lead, right? So if you have people who, 12 months ago, they said they're gonna potentially move in a year and a half, so you've got 6 months left, you can say, hey, I have a buyer that is desperate to buy a house in your neighborhood. Is there any price that you would be willing to sell? And this could be just a list of homeowners that you have, right? So maybe they're not interested in selling. 12 months ago, they didn't tell you that, and they're just a homeowner that you have potentially helped buy a house for, right? And so you could just reach out to all of your homeowners that are in that area. This works especially well if you really have a lot of buyer leads. You could show them, hey, we've got a ton of different buyers looking in XYZ neighborhood. Is there a price that you would be willing to sell at? And that's a really good way to get a lot of homeowners interested, and they might shoot you some crazy offers, and and that's okay. You're creating a conversation, and that's the most important part. The last message we're gonna send is a 2-part text message. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this off the screen because it's relatively long here, but this works really well because it basically introduces yourself again and asks an open-ended question. So text 1 would be, "Hi Jane, it's Adam from XYZ Realty. Hope you're having a great day. Do you know anybody looking for some free real estate advice? I know times are tough. Just looking to help out. I've received some new market updates I'd love to share. No pressure either way." Right? And then about a minute later, you kind of want to space this out if you're doing it manually. Again, we have an automated system that allows us to do this automated. But a minute later, we're going to send text 2. You say BTW, comma, and that kind of lets them know you're a real human a little bit. "This is Jane, right? Question, just making sure I have the right person. Forgot to mention, I put together a list of all of our off-market properties. Do you want to see it? Reply no, thanks, if not." So the beautiful part of that text message is it's a quick introduction. It reminds them who you are, right? This works really, really well if you're doing circle prospecting to your database because you're going to be showing up in their newsfeed over and over, right? On Facebook, on Instagram, all over the place. So it's just a quick introduction. Again, hey, this is Adam with XYZ Realty, and I have some free real estate advice that I want to give out to you, right? So they know you're in real estate. And then bam, off-market properties. So, buyers want houses, and so that's what we want to be a resource for. They don't really care about you as a real estate agent. I hate to say that, but it's actually true. Buyers want houses, sellers want buyers. So be that resource for them. That's all of our messaging is based on that principle of real estate. All right, guys, so if you utilize any of those different responses in our database reactivation campaigns, I promise you will have a lot of conversations coming from the leads that you already are getting, right? There is gold in your list. So the fortune is definitely in the follow-up. Guys, if you use any of these messages and you get a bunch of responses, please comment, come back to this video, comment down below. I love to hear successes. Guys, if you pair this with the circle prospecting method to your current database, I promise you will get a ton of different conversations happening and closings from this. If you guys wanna watch that video, click on that link. The link is in the description or somewhere over here. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.